I've just heard that we do have Anelit on the line. So
let's get hold of him.
Brilliant stuff. Anelit, are you there? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can.
Hey,
Welcome to our Wednesdays, Anelit. How are you today?
Pretty fine. And you?
Yeah, we're pretty good. Now, a lot of people assume that you're from France because you are in the French team of AAA, but actually, you live in Switzerland, don't you? Tell us a little bit about your background.
Oh yeah, I live in Switzerland in a small village. I'm 20. I go to local university, and yeah, that's kind of.
What do you study?
Economics.
Ah, useful. Economics can be applied for everything. Apparently, there's a book on it.
Does it help you out in the auction house?
No, not really. I'm kind of poor in like 50 gold or.
Right. So if anybody wants to send you gold, they can find you on Storm Scale, right? And the zombies. Okay, great. We're bringing begging for gold to a whole new level. Okay, so Anelit, at the moment you're kind of playing your RMP in Cyclone Battle Group. You're in the top 20. We've just been having a look at Europe, and we see there's a lot of RMPs, but there's also a lot of cleave teams out there. Yeah. Ret Paladin Warrior Healer, and even sometimes Enhancement Shaman Warrior Healer. Yeah. How you don't sound very happy about this. How are you working out versus these teams? What's it like to play against them as RMP?
You can get surprised sometimes by Red Paladin just can get one shoot your mage. Like just 2 globals, so it can get kind of surprising, but once you get used to it, I think you can beat it consistently.
And what kind of, I mean, I actually played you, and you killed our shaman because I gave freedom to myself instead of him when he was in kidney. I'm not going to tell you what name my Ret Paladin is, because otherwise I'll get abused. But what kind of opener do you look for when you play Ret Paladin Warrior Healer? I
think we'll sub the healer and open Ret Paladin. We'll try to search for a fast mass dispel, and if it fails, we could switch on the healer and go back to the Red Paladin after a bubble.
Okay,
or maybe
so
do a quick swap on warrior too. Depends on placement, I think.
With warriors at the moment, do you find them very killable?
Yeah, it's really hard to kill. Once if you don't kill them like in cheap shot or cheap shot dismantle or cheap shot kidney, it's very hard to kill because shield wall and second wind and like blood regeneration from crits and the 30% heal. I don't know what's the name.
Yeah, frenzied regeneration.
Yeah, that's some crazy stuff. So, but once they're out of cooldowns, you can kill them too.
Okay, and do you find there's I mean, with RMPs, there's a lot of people saying. I spoke to Zom. He said it's kind of boring because it's. Don't want to. I can't quote him exactly. I can't remember. But he said it's like you can reset the fight so easy. Yeah,
via the cleave. He said.
Sorry.
Versus the cleave, or what?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's kind of like if you don't get a kill in the first opener and few moves, you can just reset it and get a kill in the second one.
Yeah, sure. You can. Yeah, if you don't get like better teams for not to get reset fight is hunters. I rather play Hunters than Red Paladin Warrior. I play Hunter and Red Paladin. Hunters are more annoying for me. They get the flare, so they can get the rogue out of stealth, and they get they kind of rape mages too. Hunters rape mages hard.
Now, Anelit, we wanted to do a quick player profile on you as well and take a look at some of your keybinds, your glyphs, that sort of thing. So we are going to bring them up on the screen in a minute. And I wanted to ask you, you guys surprised a lot of people at the World Finals by placing 3rd place and doing surprisingly well and better than a lot of the other European RMPs. Would you guys say that at the moment you are, say, one of the top 3 RMPs in Europe? How do you guys compare with, for example, Hydra's team at the moment?
It's kind of difficult to compare. We play on live, but on live you don't have like we're kind of like poor people. We don't like. I'm the only one who get rocket boots in the team, so it doesn't help a lot. Like all other people play with engineering gloves and googles, and like Hiss doesn't have all that stuff. Hiss is like.
Hiss must get opened up on loads if he doesn't have goggles.
Yeah. He gets opened up really.
That's lame.
Many times, yeah.
Really lame.
Yeah.
Well, let's bring up your keybinds and see exactly how you play. You've got a Dispel, actually, in number 1, 2 in Dot. And they're really interesting for me, actually, is 4th and 5th are both Dispels to your teammates, Hiss and Theo. Explain a little bit the thinking behind having those keybinds.
It's for time, just to save some time, not to like selecting the player and then dispel right away without switching targets. Like I'm on a opposite rogue and I just need to get a quick dispel on the Nova on his, and I just hit my 4 keybind and like go back to the rogue.
So we can see you've got Q as Master Spell, C as Fear, E as Inner Fire. What would you say are the most important decisions to make when choosing your keybinds as a priest?
You got to make when you as a reaction time, like when you got to have a good bind for if you need to play some spell fast. Like if you want to get some quick master spells, you got to get a good keybind. Otherwise, you'll be too slow and you won't. Maybe that will sometimes make a difference.
Okay, we'll keep scrolling through these if we can bring them up.
No, they're up actually on the screen behind us, so everyone can see. Do you bind also obviously your buffs, because you're going to be sometimes, or some of your teammates will be spam dispelled, so you might need to re-put up buffs. I don't see them at the moment, but do you bind buffs?
Yeah, I binded spirits. Like I didn't mention it, but I binded stamina, spirit, and shadow protection too. But those are not really really good keybinds, so I didn't mention them.
Yeah, no, I mean, just because obviously when you're getting dispelled or a spell stolen, sure. It's always good to maybe stick at those buffs.
Yeah, reapply some buffs, yeah, sure.
Yeah, it is. So we're going to have a look at your build as well. So at the moment, you're going to be playing, obviously in the discipline tree, you're going to be playing 60-11, just going up to Desperate Prayer in the Holy Tree. You haven't got spell warding, but you've obviously got, improved, so you don't get pushed back, as well as less time on your heals. So what's important for you playing in an RMP in this setup? Well, I mean, what can you tell other priests that, the reason you've gone 60-11?
It's a rather classic build. Like, you don't need those points, those more points in Holy than Desperate Prayer, and points in discard are really important for like mana efficiency, or burst, or haste, or some spell power too.
Yeah, you say haste, so you've actually gone for one of the higher talents, which actually procs haste on some of your casts. I can't remember the name of it. How important is haste?
Haste is like how do you say it? Diminishes the global cooldown, and you cast spells faster with haste too. So it's very important sometimes.
I mean, some people say that it's a little bit overrated, that they would rather invest, their energy into other talents. So what would you say?
Like what? I don't know. Borrowed Time is a classic talent, so I don't know where to invest otherwise than this one.
Cool. Well, let's take a quick look at your glyphs then. You've got major glyph of Inner Fire, glyph of Pain Suppression, glyph of Penance. Yeah. Minor, you've got Levitate, Shackle Undead, and Shadow Fiend. What would you say are the most important glyphs there?
I would say like Pain Suppression is only good for RMP mirrors, because there are sometimes you get the opener on the priest, and you have to, instead of blowing your trinket on a KS, you just blow Pain Suppression in the stun, and you don't get killed. So that saves you a trinket. But VS auto setups, it's not so good. But and Penance glyph is also huge. 2 seconds on Penance is really good.
Isn't Penance down to 6.5 seconds now?
Yeah, 6.4 with glyphs and talents.
Do you not think that's too easy?
It's like a healing barrage.
Yeah, I mean, honestly though, I mean, like when I used to play Priest, I always part of the skill of it for me was picking the right spells to cast. Yeah. So I would have that spell ability again when I needed it, depending if I thought maybe I'll get jumped, so I'll throw the shield before this and that. But now you've got Penance on 6.4 seconds. Does that not make Priests a little bit easier to play?
Yeah, it kind of killed some gameplay, but yeah, they don't. I don't think they need the glyph, but they surely need the Penance spell. I think the glyph is a bit too powerful. Penance like 9 or 10 seconds would be still okay, I think, for good priests. I think it won't be such a huge nerf.
Okay, yeah, I just wanted to clear that up as well, because when I heard that, I just thought spell rotation, easy mode, but obviously it's not. I mean, when they give that to everybody, a priest, it seems that everyone can play priest to a good level. So it seems that there's less that separates a good priest from someone like yourself who's a great priest in some of their decisions made. But anyway, yeah, we've got that cleared up. So what else have you got on there, Matt?
Well, I just wanted to ask a quick question. I was going to say, after the recent changes to Shadow in 3.1, do you think Shadow Priest will ever be viable again at the top level? And you used to play Tri-Spec. Have you considered ever, giving it a shot again now that the silence range has been increased?
For the Tri-Spec, I don't think it might be that good, because before we used to, like, when I played silence specs, it like to one-shot a druid, like we can imp CS and silence, and he gets 9 seconds of just, he couldn't do anything. But now it's on DR, and the two silences are on DR. Yeah. Before we could like garrote, then CS, then silence, and the druid will go down like any time. Now it's not so possible. So I think 3-spec isn't that good. And before you could heal with Greater Heal too, but now burst is so important. You have to speak penance. It's more almost.
Yeah.
You gotta have it.
Okay. Going back to some of the decisions made, and talking about that being on DR, Blind and Fears are now on DR. What do you make of this decision from Blizzard?
I kind of disagree. I don't think like Druid and Rogue synergy would be kind of sick, I think. But yeah, it's like you said, it's certainly a nerf, but not big enough to like to put RMP on the other side of top comp. But I think RMP stays still good.
Yeah, and also, I mean, do you still think RMPs are going to be the dominant? Because, I mean, we're going to be having the Blizzard Regionals coming up soon. Yeah. We might have a few tournaments before that on 3.1. I'm still picking RMP to be the top comp. Do you still feel that when you enter an arena with your RMP setup that you're still capable of beating every other team?
Yeah, I think that it's the setup first, and other players who play different setups, they didn't have time to adapt to play the necessary team play of their setup. Because like RMP, if you look at top Euro RMPs, they play with each other for so long. They got so much team play, so much experience that just other teams don't have. That's why RMP is a good comp, but still like players who played are more experienced with their comp than the other ones. Yeah, that's why RMP, I think, is very, very good comp.
People really underestimate the synergy and teamwork, I think, involved, especially in America, where a lot of the top teams seem to be, throwing together comps all the time, and the sort of thinking seems to be over there that comp is a lot more important than anything else.
Yeah, I agree. Also looking in the brackets of like things being thrown into the kind of mixer, enhancement shamans have kind of been turning up into these brackets. Have you played against many enhancement shaman cleave teams?
Yeah, I played like one, I think it was Paladin, enhancement shaman, and warrior. They hit really hard. Like when we get in dollar on arena, you can get, if your rogue gets pops out of stealth, or the shaman just throws his wolves. His wolves hit hard and heal him too. And like you have these totems that you can't fear the paladin, and it's so much damage. If you don't survive and the shaman manages to purge you all your buffs, you're kind of dead. So you have to be put yourself in good position and be quick.
And do you fear maybe the Ret Paladin more than the enhancement shaman at the moment? Because
I think Ret Paladin is kind of better.
Okay.
Because he so many defensive cooldowns and utility.
I mean, how do you handle the enhancement shamans? Do you lock down them, or do you go for someone else?
We do with this team. We did swaps between the warrior and the shaman. Like when the shaman has freedom and like 1400 buffs, and like we switch to the warrior. And we just switch between those two.
Yeah, I mean. The shaman's got, shamanistic rage or whatever, I can't pronounce it. I mean, that's quite a good cooldown as well. And then, imagine if you had a priest in the back of that team. You've got that, and then you've got pain suppression potentially. Yeah. So, it could be very difficult. What do you make of Decays at the moment? Because Death Knights don't seem to be cropping up much at all.
I didn't see many Decays in top 20, I think. So.
You didn't see many?
No, I didn't play. Like for 2 weeks, I don't think I played many Decays. in threes. Or
do you
maybe
reckon?
some, but not good teams, I think.
Do you reckon it's a matter of people not having really learnt how to master the class yet, how to use it to its full extent, and how to?
Yeah, because before it was like a 2-button spec, like Shadow Frost was so easy to play, so people just didn't learn how to efficiently play Death Knight.
Well,
okay.
You know what? I'm really looking forward to seeing you guys at the Blizzard Regionals. What do you think your chances are?
Oh, we're all in the same guild, you know, like all the teams who qualified, and we talk to each other so much, and we are.
This is you
and
and AAA. Oh no, Zombies. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, all the pro teams are in Zombies. So you're all talking about the regionals. Sorry.
Yeah, we got our AA team, the other AA team who qualified too. We got Zom's team, Kirkoala, and Inflame too, and I think that's it. But like 6 teams. And we talk a lot with each other. We think, it's going to be very, very tough. Anyone doesn't know who's going to win. So,
are you worried about any of the American teams, or are they just going to be a joke?
I don't know. I don't know. They didn't do so well in Hanover, but I think American teams didn't play the last week after 3.1. I don't think they did that so well like Europe did.
All right.
Do you think American players that just in general aren't as
Stop trying
talented?
to bash America, dude.
I'm not trying. I'm trying to
Stop
get...
trying to get Anelit to bash America. He doesn't want to. He's Swiss. He's a neutral country. They never go to war, but they are prepared if they needed to. Technological
We need
army.
controversy on this show. You know, that's what
Mate,
generates
your
the hits
clothing is
and the page
controversial enough, okay? Let's not
That's
get
true.
Anelit involved.
That's true.
Anelit, before we let you go, I'd just say thank you for coming on the show and sharing some of your knowledge about RMPs and the top 20. Obviously, we're going to wish you, as well as all our friends heading over to the European regionals, the best of luck. Any last shout-outs before you head back to the arena?
Some shout-outs to, if you people could give some gold to his on Storm Scale so he can buy engineering and stuff, that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
I want to say one last thing before you go. I want to actually apologise for some of my shoutcasting during the finals when I repeatedly bashed Hiss for using his trinket early.
No, it was cool. It was cool. Don't change anything. If you can next time, bash him more. All
right.
Okay.
More bash on Hiss. And all right then. Awesome, Anelit. We look forward to following your progress, and hopefully we'll see you in a tournament in the upcoming near future. So take it easy, man.
Thanks.
See ya.
See ya.
See ya. So, that was Anelit from Against All Authority, plays with Hiss on Rogue and Phoenix, and Hiss apparently needs money for engineering. Anelit needs money for maybe respecking or anything. I don't know what's going on with that team. They're very poor at the moment. But yeah, great guests.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed him. Really nice guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the thing with PvPers is like they love PvP so much and they just enjoy the competitive part of the game. They just don't have time or any interest in really, doing the whole auction house thing or trying to
even
get
though he
gold.
is, studying economics.
Economics, I was surprised.
Not putting it to practice. He's a clever young lad.
Yeah.
And I was particularly interested during the interview to talk to an RMP, a top RMP, about the other comps that are popping up at the moment.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry if we may be stuck on that subject a bit long. Maybe you guys are interested and wanted to know what you think. But yeah, I still think, as well as maybe him, the RMP is on top. So
I thought you asked some great questions, and definitely
Thanks,
that
Matt.
interview was a great one for all the theory crafters and hardcore PvPers out there.
Well, that's because I'm back in arena wrecking face. I'm rolling my face on my keyboard with some. I roll my face to the left, actually, not both sides.
Can we have a demonstration?
No.
I'll show you how I face
maybe
roll.
I'll give you a demonstration with a keyboard against someone's face in the break. Because when we come back after the break, it's going to be news and blues and everything else. So don't go anywhere. Wow Wednesdays returns after this advert.